Hello guys, welcome to this next tutorial video. And in this tutorial video, we're going to set up our project and create our first Angular application. And in order to achieve that, we're going to install some various tools. And the first tool we're going to install here is Node.js. So what is Node.js? So Node.js is a server-side language. And here we're not going to write any Node.js code. Here Node.js will be used behind the scene by the command line interface to bundle and optimize our project. And we're also going to use npm, the node package manager, to manage our various dependencies. And what is a dependency? A dependency, Angular itself is also a dependency. And we are also going to use the node package manager to install some various plugins and libraries. So on my screen at this moment, you can see I have the version 16.15.0, so recommended for most users. So go on and install this version and you're good to go. So I'll just click here, and once the installation file, I'll just click there and install Node.js on my PC. And you can also download for the Mac version for those of you coming from the Mac OS. So just go through the installation wizard. Here you can see the change, repair, remove, because I already have Node.js installed on my PC. So once the installation is done, then you're good to go. Then we're going to install the next tool. And what is the next tool? So the next tool we're going to install is Git. And what is Git? So Git is actually a distributed version control system. And for those of you coming from Windows PCs, you know about the Windows PowerShell. So it actually helps us to run a bundle of commands. So just go on and install Git Bash. So here you have the download. You can download here for Windows, or you can download for Mac. And then here I'll go for the 62-bit. Okay, I have my installation file. I'll just go on and install. So just go on and install and follow the same procedure as you did with Node.js. Just follow the installation wizard. Just click on next, and then you're good to go. Okay, great guys. So here you have completed the installation. And if you see this message saying that completing the Git setup wizard, so just click on launch. And here you can launch your Git Bash and click on finish. So here is what the Git Bash, which is actually a command line interface, looks like. So just minimize, and then we're going to install our next tool. So what is our next tool all about? So our next tool is actually the Angular CLI, the Angular command line interface. So we're going to install the Angular command line interface. And to install it, we're going to actually go to the Angular official documentation website so that you can see the various commands we're going to use in order to install the Angular CLI. Okay, here we are actually on the Angular's official website, official documentation website. And here you can scroll down where you have installed the Angular CLI. And here you can see a bunch of commands. Some commands we're going to type in order to install the Angular CLI. And one thing I want to precise here is that the Angular CLI actually comes with an inbuilt server that will enable us to watch the files, rebuild the application. So the first thing we're going to do to install the Angular CLI is to copy this command and just paste in our Git Bash. So make sure to open your Git Bash we've installed earlier. So I'll just put it here. Okay, so the first thing, I'll copy this command. And before pasting this command, we're going to actually go to the path where we're going to install our Angular application. Because in order to install the Angular application, we're going to a specific path. So here I'll actually try to access my D drive. So by typing D, and then in my D drive, in my D drive, I have another folder called Angular. So cd Angular, and then in the folder Angular, I have another folder projects where I will store all my projects. So I can just type cd projects. So guys, make sure you have a project so you can give any name to your folder. So just make sure you store it locally. Here in my case, I've actually access to my D drive. In my D drive, I have a folder called Angular, and in the Angular folder, I have another folder called projects, and that is where I will store all my projects or all the projects we are going to do in this course. So since I've actually access to that path, so now the first thing I will do is to install the Angular CLI by copying and pasting this command. So npm install -g Angular CLI. Okay, here we've actually installed our Angular CLI. So you can see change 196 packages and audited 197 packages in 26 seconds. So we've successfully installed Angular CLI. And the next thing we're going to do is to create a workspace and install our application, because here we're going to install or create our first application. So we're going to type in the syntax Angular new. Let me copy and paste here. And you can see the syntax is ng new, ng which stands for Angular new. And after the new keyword, you can give the name of the folder in which the application will actually be installed. So in our case, we can give my app, or you can give any name. So since it's actually our first application, I will give the name my first app and then type enter. What we're going to do is to navigate to our workspace, my first app. So we are going to type cd my first app in order to access to our workspace, and then type the command ng-serve open to launch automatically, so that we can actually launch automatically the application into our browser. Okay guys, so if you see this message compiled successfully, that means you actually launch the application at the localhost 4200. So as you can see here, it will open automatically your browser at this port 4200, and you can see how our application has been served. So if you see this message, welcome, my first app is running. So that means you've actually run your first application. You've created your first application. Guys, you are the best. You actually did very well. So you created your first application, your first Angular application. So in our next course, we're going to edit this application and bring some more features. So we're going to delete everything and bring some more features, and you're going to see how Angular works. So guys, we're going to meet in our next course and edit this application. So have a nice time.